YouTube channel for Santa J Claus. Be sure to subscribe for new content and comment below to introduce yourself. May the magic of Christmas brighten your days all year long.
Well, hello there, my friends. Hello there, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are out in the world. I'm just happy that you're here today. My friends, welcome to the Art Livestreamy. I'm so excited to get started today. We are continuing this wonderful series highlighting inspirational individuals from around the world. It is inspiring individuals from A to Z. And we've gone through all of the letters, my friends. The very last letter we painted was the letter R for Robin Williams. And today we are painting the letter S. The letter S for Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, my friends. I'm looking quite forward to today. I'm wishing you all good things. Everett, I see you have joined in. Sebastian, Brian, hello there, my friends, and welcome, and best wishes to each of you. It's been quite a busy few weeks, my friends. First, we've been working in the beautiful islands of Hawaii, a wonderful place. And I cannot wait to be sharing some more videos with you in the future. And I have just returned from a few days working with my friends at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I have been missing you and missing the art, my friends. And here we are today to get started. Now, if we look here, I've gone through and sketched as best I can, my friends. Just the overall sketch of what we're wanting to paint today. We're going to go through now and fill in with the details with our wonderful ink pen. For the pencil, I'm always using a Faber-Castell HB. It's a very soft pencil that does not require a lot of pressure when we're putting it on the paper. We don't need to dig into it, and it's easy to erase, which is also key when we want to remove all of the lines. The ink, my friends, is a permanent watercolor, or permanent ink. We're going to use it with the watercolor paints. If we were to use a regular pen, well, my friends, all of the ink would be mushy and messy and blend all around with the watercolor paint. So we are using a permanent ink. This one is the Zebra Brush pen, a wonderful pen that was shown to me by the artist and our friend Scott Sava. So we're looking forward to continuing this. You might be able to see the pencil drawing that I have created, and I'm looking forward to getting started. This is a time, my friends, of learning. I do not want to approach this as that I am the professional and you are enjoying the learning opportunity. No, we are all students, my friends. We are all learning. And for me, I'm just excited that I've had individuals that have helped support and encourage me to share my art. But we are all learning in this art form, my friends, a wonderful thing. And your art might be something quite different, but I truly believe with all of my heart that everyone is an artist deep within their heart. I know that there's something truly artistic and creative that you enjoy. Maybe you have not found it yet, but what a wonderful opportunity to continue to search. And I will say that there are many things that I still have not tried that I want to try as well. Trying new things is always wonderful, with the expectation that the first time you try a type of art, well, it might not turn out very well at your first time. Be patient, my friends, and be kind to yourselves. Always very important. Steve Irwin was best known for his nickname, wonderful, the Crocodile Hunter, certainly. Hello there, my friends, to all joining in. How are we doing today, Santa? Well, Jessica, I'm doing quite well. I'm doing quite well indeed. Shall we get started? There's so very much to do. I'm going to start with the circle because I always dread it in getting the right circle, getting the right thing done. I'm going to turn it upside down and we're going to start from over here. When we are using inks, when we are using paints, when we want smoothness within our lines, we should also be thinking about where our hand is placed. Are we going to try, my friends, are we going to try to do a circle in this way? This would be a very difficult way to be able to have a smooth circle. But we have a little pivot point right here. Do you see how smooth this movement is versus this movement? So I'm going to be using my wrist to kind of go around and create the circle. And if you are afraid of perhaps your wrist getting in the art, well, you can put something on top of the art right there. Also, there are wonderful ways to, if you're painting in the paint, there are wonderful ways that you can kind of lift your wrist up as well with a stick that is used also in painting. I'm sure it has a wonderful name, but I don't know what the name is. So we're going to continue right here. I'm going to place my wrist here, and quite smoothly, as best I can, I'm going to begin the circle. And when I've reached the finality of that movement, what can I do? Well, I can move the paper. Now I'm going to begin just above where I ended, so that that moment there is a smooth transition as best we can. And you will always hear me say, my friends, the one rule in art is it does not need to be perfect. I've never found perfect art. Certainly, maybe from the viewer, but if you were to ask the artist, I bet every artist can find the little spots in their art that maybe they wish they had done a little differently, and this is quite all right. It is the process. It is how it is done. Well, we have completed the circle. And it's fairly smooth as well, and we're going to add some color into it a little bit later. The next thing I'm going to do always is, and I don't know if this is the way it is for you as well, but I'm always trying to start with the least pressured areas. So I'm going to go through and we're going to start to ink in his shirt now. And as I am starting to create art for the first time today, well, I'm giving an opportunity to get used to the movement, get used to all of it. Well, I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. Always wonderful. We are getting there. I'm going to go through, and the other thing that's so very important, my friends, give yourself references. You do not need to do all of this by memory. I'm looking at a picture as I'm painting and inking, making sure that everything is the way that I would like it to be. Wonderful. And there's a lot of shadowing that we will do with the paint along the shirt as well. And there it is. Hello there to all of those joining in. Jessica, that would be a fun job for him to have. I certainly agree. I love to making new friends, and I love to drawing and sketchbooks. Ashley, wonderful. Noah has joined in, arrived just in time. Well, no, I'm so very happy that you're here. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, my friends, oh my goodness, I hope that I can do its justice, but a beautiful, beautiful crocodile. Very interesting. Well, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go through. I'm not giving it a straight smooth line because of all of the scales that are there. It's a little bit of a bumpy line. We will try our very best. And I'm paying close attention. They have webbed feet. It's all connected in here. So you see the little connection between the little fingers there? It's so that they can best swim in the water. Always quite wonderful. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through and give kind of our main lines, where the main lines are. There's also a ridge that happens along in here. There is, let's see if we can. We're getting there. Wonderful. You are doing great, Santa Grace. I thank you for your kindness. He caught his first venomous snake, a common brown, at the age of 6 years old. My goodness, catching snakes at 6 years old. Rather impressive. Now I'm going to try my best. As most of you know, one of the most difficult things for many people is painting hands. And this hand is in a very interesting placement. I think a lot of it will be dependent on paint to get all of the shadows as best we can. We will certainly try our best. But it does not need to be perfect. The point of all of this, my friends, is not that we are going to be sending our art to the next gallery to sell and make as our job. For me, the art is simply to learn to be better. And when we can do that and not worry so very much, it is always quite nice. And I have a feeling we will be doing quite a lot here in the sense of paint, to try to get the shadows in the way that it needs to be. Well, there it is. It definitely needs some refining, but we will do the best we can. Now, what is everyone else working on? Are you drawing? Are you painting? What are some of the things that you're doing? I would love to hear. And here I'm just going through and kind of creating some of the scales. Does not need to be perfect. We're going to add in also, as we go through this, add in through the paint what we're wanting as well. And here we have some larger scales here on the belly, and then very small scales along these edges here. We are trying it. Here, very light colors in here, but there's scales all along the bottom in here. Does anyone in the chat know how dangerous a brown snake is? I'm afraid of snakes, so please don't freak me out. Now here, I'm going to give him just a little bit. This is a little bit of teeth within this area here. A little bit here. Well, we're getting there. Wonderful. Now I'm going to angle just a little bit here so that we can make sure that at this interesting angle that we're still trying to stay relatively even and parallel. I'm only afraid of the big snakes. So my friends, my goodness, I certainly am not hanging out with snakes, I will tell you that. Well, here I have what I'm noticing for the next painting is I'm going to replace the tip of this is getting a little bit dull. I'm going to go through here and give his eyebrows. Now I saw a lot of comments for the letter S, and many of you were saying that I should paint myself. But this is certainly individuals that have inspired me. And while certainly I will agree that we can inspire ourselves, there are so many other people that I want to make sure I can focus on and highlight. I think it would be rather interesting painting myself. Now here I'm going to go through here and we have some sections that I'm just going to section off really quickly. There's a little spot in there that I'm not quite too happy about, but we will work with it. Wonderful. Now we're going to go through here, and I'm actually going to go through and now refine this hair just a little bit. We also have some little wispies in here that we want to get. I hope that everyone is finding ways to be creative. Always wonderful. And there we are, we're getting there. There are some little wispies here and there. Now I'm going to go through, and we're just going to find some of our shadows as well. Where are the shadows? Well, there's definitely a shadow along in here that's being created. All along in here. And there's a little bit more of a shadow along in here as well. Shadow along in here. And not so much a shadow, but there is more darkness on this top edge here. So I'm going to add it with the larger pen, the ink here. Just like that. And a wonderful little pattern in here that I'm going to put in here that we see. I'm moving it like they are scales, right? I'm creating the pattern, but it is within the scales, so that I'm going to put movement in there, like I'm drawing little scales here and there. I'm not following the lines or anything like that. We're just creating a little pattern to make it a little easier, giving the idea of the pattern along there. And then we do have, let's see here, there's a little bit more along in there. And on some of this, well, we certainly can just put in some little dots here and there just to shade this more and have it be on our ink layer. There, I think that's good. Now looking at Mr. Irwin here, we have some shade here and here, just where that part is. And there's some shadow along in that edge here and in here, and just in a few little spots in here. Just like that. Wonderful. Moving on, my friends, moving on. Miss Bethany has joined in. Well, welcome to the fun, my friend. Welcome to the fun. Now, the next thing that we can do, sometimes I remember, sometimes I do not. Well, we're going to be using a kneading eraser. Do you see this eraser? You can almost think of it like a Play-Doh or a silly putty, but it is an eraser. And as you erase the pencil, well, all of that pencil dust gets into this, so you'll notice that it will get darker and darker as we go. But you can be rather aggressive, or you can just roll it along, my friends, and we can do that as well. Just lifting up some of the pencil line that is not being covered up by the ink. And if you have some stubborn spots, well, you can certainly erase in those areas. Wonderful. Let us start painting. It has been a little bit of time since I've been painting. I'm excited to get started. Now I'm going to go through, and you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little water, and I am just going to dampen the area I'm about to paint. And this is, you might not be able to see it, but I'm just pre-wetting all of the parts here. So that we have an even coverage on our paint. Wonderful. Now I'm going to go through and let's give it a green. And here we go. So what we shall notice is that the paint just kind of moves a little easier with the wet on wet. The big trick when we're painting a larger space like this and we're wanting all of it to be even, we do not want the paint to begin to dry, because once we re-wet it in a couple different places, well, it's going to start to move in different ways. You'll get little clouds, little movements here and there. So there we have it. There's a little spot in here that's maybe we can see some of the lines a little bit more, but now that it's all there and it's fairly blended, now we can go through and blow dry it and stop it at its place. Bethany says, I love to see that you're painting Steve Irwin today. He was an incredible human. I fully agree with you, Bethany. Sorry, everyone in Santa, I can't watch today. One, because I'm starting to get nervous. Well, I'm sending you all my best wishes, Jessica. Wishing you all good things. I hope that you will join us again. Maybe it will be less nervous. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start painting in a few little spots here, but I'm wanting to free up some space on the palette. Normally I clean all of this off ahead of time, and I did not do that this time around. Wonderful. So here we are. I'm going to go through and very lightly I'm noticing that the white on our wonderful friendly crocodile, well, there is a little hint. I'm going to do a little blue as well. There's just a slight hint of yellow. So I'm going to go through and actually we're going to paint our wonderful crocodile. We're just going to start off and paint all of him. Now, painting animals is a little bit different, but they're all shapes, my friends. They're all shapes. We will do the best we can. Wonderful. And blow dryer. And actually, as I'm thinking about this, I'm going to clean before I dry this. I'm going to clean the brush, make sure that it's very clean, and make sure that it's very dry. There are a few spots in here that I'm going to just go through here and lift some of the color from. Just a few little spots. You see how it just lifts the color just slightly. Does not need to be a lot. There we have it. Now blow dryer. Now I'm going to go through here, see if I can find a dark green that I like, and I think I have found it. very dark green. A lot of the darkness in the crocodile, well, it actually appears more to be black, but I'm going to go with green. And we will go from there. We will also highlight a little bit later. I'm being very deliberate on some of these areas here. We're going to paint those shapes that we put in there before, leaving just a little bit of that yellow to shine through, just a little bit. And we do not have, here, we do not really have that darker color, so we're going to be good on that one. Same with right in there as well. Somewhat of a little ridge of color just here. And there we have it. And blow dryer. Now I'm going to go through, let's add in with that little bit of green, I'm going to add in a lot of yellow. Let's see if I can going to go through here and water it down. Let's paint his iconic is it khaki? Is that what they call it? His shirt. We're getting there, my friends. We are certainly getting there. Now, my friends, if you have any questions, this would be certainly a wonderful time. Grace is here as well. Thank you for joining in. I never seen this animal in real life. Marta, well, crocodiles, alligators, very interesting. There's even, I have seen a albino crocodile, a beautiful white crocodile. Always wonderful. All of the animals of the world, quite magical indeed. Very, very special. Now I'm going to go through, let's find a little space in here. Now I'm going to go through and we're going to now lighten, or not lighten, we're going to go through and add in a little bit of water on the skin. This is going to allow us to add in some color. And let the color blend just a little bit. going to do the same on his hand. And now we're going to start to mix in some color. Now, so far we're going to start with kind of the lighter of what we have here. I'm going to add in some yellow and some red until I find a tone that I'm liking. I'm going to also add in just a little bit of blue. Does not need to be a lot. See here, I've already done too much. I'm going to pull some of that, clean the brush, and blend the rest in. And there we have it with a little bit more water. This will be the lighter of the skin tone. And it should move rather nicely along in here because we've pre-wet this. I'm just going to put this on his lips as well, although we will add some other tones to this. Now while I'm thinking about it, once I paint all of this in here, I'm also going to add in just a little bit more red. And on that red, where are we going to go? Well, we're going to go into his cheeks. And with all of this still somewhat wet, all of this will blend in quite nicely as well. We're just adding in just a little bit here and there on where this is. And he is, in the picture that I'm seeing, there actually is quite a bit of, there's actually quite a bit of pink in his skin. It's all the time in the sun. Blow dryer. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go through here and just knock down the color of his eyes just a little bit so they're not so bright. And then we will do, let's blow dry that. We're also going to add in the blue of his eyes. His eyes in the picture look maybe just a little bit of gray in there, but we'll go from there. And I'm also going to just knock down his teeth just a little bit as well. Just like that. And let's go with a little darker blue. We will just darken his eyes up just a little bit more. And blow dryer. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go through and I'm going to go through and do his hair. is kind of a golden hair. And I look forward to doing the video today and sharing a little bit about the life of Steve Irwin. I think it will be a wonderful tribute to a wonderful individual. Now I'm going to go through and make another pass at his skin tone. I'm going to mix in just a little bit more. And this time around, I'm going to go a little bit heavier on the red. Let's see here. I'm going to let us see. We're going to go through. How are we going to do this? See, it's very bright. Let's add in just a little bit of water. And where are we going to go through this? We're going to... This is where I say, no, I've done too much, but I'm committed now, my friends. We will do the best that we can. I'm going to go through with just a little bit of water and just a slight bit of color and put in just a little more of a secondary kind of blending on this just a little bit. And blow dryer. Now as we do this, we want to make sure that we're not also forgetting his hands, where that might go. And blow dryer. I love watching his kids run his zoo. Robert is pretty much a carbon copy of his father. I agree. The children and his wife doing such wonderful things to continue on his mission and work and legacy, and it's all wonderful. Have Santa been in Australia? Of course, for holiday, not for work. I have not vacationed in Australia, but it is on my list to do. Certainly. I have had about enough time to deliver gifts, and that is about it. I'm going to go through and add in now with that last color. I'm adding in just a little bit more blue, and that's giving us more of a shadow layer as well. Now, where are the shadows? Well, there's shadows all along in here, all against this area that there's lots of shadows all along in here as well. And blow dryer. I'm going to go through here and add in an even darker color now in those. And you know what, before I do that, my friends, I'm going to go through just very, very gently. There's a little bit of blue we're going to add in just along in here, just where kind of we see his beard tends to darken it up just a bit. And blow dryer. And I'm going to go through and add in just a little bit more now that I'm thinking of it. Just a little bit more. Kind of blush. And overall, he does have a lot of pink in his complexion. All of that sun. And blow dryer. I'm going to go through here with that shadow that I had talked about. It's a little bit of shadow along in here. There's a little bit of shadow along in here. This is going to be fairly dark. It's all in layers. Sometimes the colors, they might seem like they are far too much, but when we are layering them, it tends to work out. And with that same shadow, I'm going to go through here and shadow in where I'm seeing it on his hands. And blow dryer. Now, let's mix in that shadow, the actual shadow. What are we doing? We're going to do some dark purple and just a touch of Payne's gray as well. And we're going to put in a shadow everywhere we see it. Steve Irwin appeared in my favorite show, The Wiggles. Do you know what? The Wiggles are friends of mine on the social medias. Such wonderful individuals. Now we're going to go through, even on his shirt now, let's add in a little bit of shadow. Now where are the shadows? Well, there's a big shadow all in there and in there. There's a shadow moving down there, and there's a shadow along in here. There's a little bit of a shadow along the lip of his shirt, and there's slight something along there as well. So it's just creating some depth, my friends. This is what we're looking for. There's a little bit more shadow along in here as well. And then we're also going to look at the shadows of our friend the crocodile. There are some shadows along in here and in here, and certainly along in there and here and in here. There's some shadows along in his hair, just in a few spots. Wonderful. And blow dryer. Now I'm going to go through here with just a little bit of pink, a little magenta lightened up. And we're going to create just a little bit more color in his cheeks, if you can see it. A little bit more color in his lips. And he has just these few little spots in here that we have just a little bit more color. Wonderful. And blow dryer. And there is a little bit of shadow as well. Along the edge of his teeth. And also along the bottom edge. And a little bit of shadow right in there as well. And blow dryer. Now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to give a nice defining line here. From that, we're going to go through here with our Uni-Ball Signo pen. It's a highlighting pen. I'm going to first highlight this outer edge here, if I can. Remember, this is the pen that sometimes just does not want to work. We'll see if this one proves to be a little better. And then we're going to go through, and now I'm going to start to create some highlights here and there where I see them. You see the little highlights that we're putting on there? A little bit of highlight there as well. Little highlight there. And there we are, my friends. He kind of looks like Han Solo. Very adventurous. There it is signed, and we will do our tape peel as well. I hope that everyone enjoyed it today. I certainly missed you all. I'm happy to be back painting again. Until the next adventure. But we have a lot to do here in the workshop as well. And there it is, Mr. Steve Irwin, part of our series on painting inspiring individuals from A to Z. I hope that all of you enjoyed it, and I'm so very happy that you're able to join in. My friends, I wish you all good things. I truly hope that wherever you are out in the world, that you are happy, that you are finding goodness within your life. For myself, I'm always taking time each day to think of the good that is out in the world. And when I do such a thing, my friends, I'm also thinking of all of you. My friends, have a wonderful day. May your day be filled with happiness and joy and peace and goodness and all good things. We accomplished another one, my friends. Mr. Steve Irwin, a wonderful individual, certainly inspiring. Now, who shall I paint next? Let me know, my friends, in the comments once the video is posted. I wish you all good things. Steve looks great. So does his scaly friend. Bethany, I wish you all good things. My friends, be good and always remember to be